What's crackalacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another investment video on the channel. Now, a lot of you have been asking me to cover the team of the week trading kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is have a look at the current team of the week and the prices they're at now, just as weekend leagues ended. Now, I'm making this video Monday evening, so we may not be getting the best possible price. It's usually a little earlier on Monday/Sunday evening when people sell off their teams, but that can differ. It can be anywhere between then and now, even a little bit later tonight. So we'll start off with the players on the bench. We're not going to look at everyone, obviously, but I'm going to discuss with you who's a good investment, why I feel that's a good investment, and just all my opinions on the matter. So to start with, we'll look at Heaton. Now, Heaton's an 84 rated goalkeeper in the BPL. Now, he's currently selling on the market on Xbox for about 16,000 coins. So if we have a look here, you can see he's going for about 16,000-ish coins. Now, is this because he's a player in demand? Well, no. It's because of the Team of the Week squad builder challenges that are coming up. People are anticipating that this guy is going to be useful in it because he's an 84 rated inform, and that's why he's holding this value. I've never seen anyone use Heaton, never seen anyone use his inform card. I can't imagine it being through demand. So personally, I feel like if he's not needed, his price will fall a couple of thousand closer to discard. Probably not all the way down because he's not a bad card with awful stats. His speed's a bit low, but I don't feel like it's a safe investment for the long term on the team of the week basis. We'll then look at Insigne. Now, Insigne is a bit of a funny one because he's one of the best left mids in the Serie A. But not a lot of people seem to use him, and I can't seem to work out why. So what I always like to do with players like this is immediately go back and look at their previous inform. So his 87 rated inform before his big match was selling for anywhere between 145 and 155,000 coins on the Xbox market. That gives us an indication of what that card was worth. Now, if we quickly search for this one on the transfer market, we can see he's selling for, well, we're going to throw a bid on that one. You never know when you can get lucky. What's it gone for? You never know if you're going to get lucky on something like that. We'll throw a bid there. This one's going for, well, about 190,000 coins according to Footbin. And that looks to be the case there. So it's only 40,000 coins higher than what his first inform was going for. Personally, that feels like it's a little bit cheap for me, and there may be potential for investment. Do you see how few there are on the market as well? Yeah, I think this guy could actually be a good investment. So what we're going to base that on is it's a good nationality. He plays in a good league, and there's obviously demand for him due to the fact that his 88 rated inform was selling for between 145 and 155,000 coins. Now, this card is currently going for 190,000, which is only 35,000 coins more than when he was at his top price, if you like, and 45,000 coins more than where he was hovering between. His second inform has got much bigger stats across the board, so it should be worth more. He's got a 1 pace upgrade, a free shooting upgrade, a 1 passing upgrade, 1 dribbling upgrade, 3 defense upgrade, and he's also got a free physical upgrade. Plus, he's a higher number. A lot of people just like higher numbers and don't really read the stats anyway. When you're coming to invest in a player like this, you know that what his first inform was selling for, so you know the guideline price. What you should expect him to rise to is the next point you should be looking at. So a player like Insigne, not the biggest league, so not a BPL player, so he's not going to rise massively in my opinion. Is that just being listed for 182,000? That just seems like too good a card to pass up. I'm going to go back and just check on that one that I'm bidding on while I talk, because I've talked myself into buying this investment. The good thing about this player, like I was saying before, is it's not the biggest league, it's not the biggest nationality, but Calcio A, Serie A, whatever you want to call it, is a league that is in massive demand, and he's going to be a staple player in a lot of teams that use wingers just because of lack of options elsewhere. If the first inform was 150, you could expect this one to go for somewhere in the region of, I'd assume, around 210, 220. There is the argument that this week player prices may drop because of the birthday promos, but I can't see informs, especially newer informs in such rare positions, taking too big a hit on that. I'm just going to finish bidding on this player though anyway, and then we'll get on to the next player on the list. Right, guys, so I'm not going to bid any more on him, but this is something funny that when people are bidding. So we've got an 88 rated Insigne, first owner, no games played, so he's fresh, and it's 183,000 coins on the bid. If we just quickly look at the transfer list here a minute, we come down here, 179,000, exactly the same card. people do not check stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous that people blindly bid. Look at it, it's still going up, still rising and rising. Picking up a fresh copy of Insigne, I think, as well. The fresh players, they do hold a little bit more value down the line. And personally, I think it's just too good a deal at 179,000 not to buy. Oh, it's gone. That's what you get for taking your time on something. Anyway, guys, that's the first player done. And hopefully you understand a little bit better on the logic on it. I did get distracted and start bidding on players there, so I probably lost you guys a little bit down the way and made it a little bit more confusing than it needed to be. So we're coming across, we get to Roland. Okay, we'll have a little look at him actually. So he's a League One striker, or League Un striker. And on the market at the moment, he is currently going for discard value. Well, basically discard value. Footbin says 11,800. Now, the reason he's going to be going for discard value is because he's a discard inform. Yes, his stats aren't bad, but his pace isn't stupidly desirable. The rest of the stats aren't anything incredible. He's from a league that isn't massively played, and he's Uruguayan, so it's a nation that isn't massively in demand. Based on these reasons alone, I don't see much use in investing in this guy. We'll move on to the next player along, which is Gomez. Now, this is a very interesting player to look at. Now, a lot of people have been comparing him to Icardi and just how good Icardi's card is. If we look at him on the market at the moment, he's currently going for about 160,000 coins. Now, his pace is insane. 94 pace, 86 shooting, 89 passing, 92 dribbling. This guy is an absolute machine. But what we can do, luckily, is compare it to his last inform. So his last inform was an 86 rated card. It had 93 pace, so just one less. 84 shooting, so just two less. 87 passing, two less. 91 dribbling, one less. He's got 4 more defending on this card and 4 more physical. Now, at the absolute peak, that card was going for about 90 to 95,000 coins. So do you feel that this card is worth 65,000 coins more? Probably worth about that. I can't see it rising much more. I can't see that small stat increase being worth double what people were paying for his first inform card, and hence I'd probably leave this investment alone. He is from a good league, he has got a good nationality, but the second inform didn't drive enough demand, and based on my little bit of research on that, I'm not convinced enough that he's going to rise. Okay, guys, so now we'll get on to the starting 11 and we'll have a look at the players on here. So the first player I'm obviously going to be a little bit biased towards is going to be Berkey. It's going to be the Borussia Dortmund keeper. Now, he's currently going for about 14,500 coins on the market. He has been a tiny bit cheaper over the last few days, but this isn't a bad price for him. If you're picking this guy up, try and compare him to other keepers in the Bundesliga. Now, he's never going to be a 30, 40,000 coin card. But is he going to be a 20,000 coin card? Well, there's a high possibility of it. His stats, he's above 80 in everything, except for speed, which is fairly slow on. Bundesliga keepers, there aren't a lot of huge names. You've obviously got the likes of Leno and Neuer. But apart from that, Farman obviously, but apart from that, there's not a lot more. So people may be inclined to pick up a very close to discard inform for the Bundesliga just to play with and try out. On top of that, he plays for one of the biggest teams there, but he also may be used in the Bundesliga SBC. Now, after seeing the requirements for the Premier League one and the Serie A one, I'm feeling less and less confident that he will be needed. But hype alone about the release of this event could push up his price and hence make him a worthwhile investment. Again with this one, if you're picking him up to sell in about a week's time just because you're expecting the price to increase over a week, he may increase by a couple of thousand, but it's not going to be any big money. You're looking for external factors to take effect with this guy. Okay guys, so we get on to Godin, the 91 rated centre-back from Atletico Madrid. Now, if I'm looking at his previous informs again on this card, we'll go back to his 89 rated inform, 140,000 coins currently on the market. His 90 rated card, 145,000 coins currently on the market. His 91 rated card, about 150,000 coins currently on the market. Now, why are they all the same kind of price? That makes no sense, right? Well, it's because of the Suarez SBC. You need an inform Godin. Oh, you need an inform, sorry. And Godin is one of the cheapest at that price. Hence, his price sticks around that point. This makes it very hard to work out whether or not it's a good investment. So would his 89 rated card be worth 140,000 coins without it? Well, obviously not. Look at this guy's pace. It's not desirable. His shooting is not desirable. Well, he's a centre-back, so you don't expect it to. The physical and defending are insane, though, which should play a role in this. And again, his height, it's decent, but he's not huge. If it wasn't for the squad builder challenge for Suarez, his first inform would probably sit somewhere around 60,000 coins at a guess. This inform maybe about 100,000 coins. So if you're investing in him here, you're investing on him based on the hope that the rest of his informs start to dry up on the market. Atletico Madrid get no more informs, and hence the price of all the special cards from Atletico Madrid start to increase in price. The chances of his demand increasing is very low, especially with Team of the Season not too far away. So his price increasing massively over the next week or two, if it isn't due to the Suarez SBC, it seems like a very big long shot to me. And based on that, I probably wouldn't invest on this guy, just because the actual demand to use him isn't quite there. Okay, guys, now we get on to Casemiro, the centre defensive mid from Real Madrid. So if we look at him on the market, he's about 150,000 coins at the moment. You might pick him up a bit cheaper on a bid. But if we're looking at his stats here, he's miles above 80 in almost every. He's almost 85 in everything except for pace. Now that's fine, he's a CDM. You have him staying back, you stick a shadow card on him, and he is an absolute machine. Personally, if I had a La Liga team, I would love this guy in my team, and I'd feel like 150,000 coins as a steal. But the good thing with this card is he has 2 previous special cards, so we can get the rest of the market's opinion on this and see how they feel about it. So if we look at his first inform card here, so his first inform has 3 less pace, it has 9 less shooting, it has 9 less passing, it has 5 less dribbling, 2 less defending, and 3 less physical. And this card is going for 25,000 coins. That is 1/6 of the price of this card. If we look at his special man of the match card, that's currently going for 70,000 coins. Before this card was released, or he had his big game, you could have picked that up for just under 90,000 coins. And the stats, there's such a small difference in stats. The only noticeable boosts are in the passing and shooting attributes, which aren't vital for a CDM anyway. Does this card justify an extra 60,000 coins on top of where his last special card was? Yeah, it might very well do. Does it justify more than that? Personally, I don't think it does. If that was what the market were willing to pay for a man of the match card, then a team of the week card with only slightly increased stats across the board isn't going to be worth a whole lot more. That's probably why I'd leave him out of my investments. Okay, we get on to Pastore now. Now, Pastore is a centre attacking mid from PSG. He's got a good nationality of Argentinian, and this is his first special card. So this special card's currently selling for about 85,000 coins on the market. Now, in this situation, we have nothing to compare this to. There's no previous informs for us to gauge just how popular he was or how much in demand he was. So there's nothing we can go off except for using our common sense and logic. So the first thing to consider is how many Liga teams do you come up against? How common are they? How big a demand is this going to be? How many players use Pastore in their team at the moment and would want the upgraded card? That's another factor that you can influence in. A lot of people use players they like. Pastore, is he a big name? Are people going to use him? Well, yes, he is a fairly big name. What do his stats look at? So his passing is absolutely incredible. His defending and physical are fairly weak, so you don't really want him as a CDM. His shooting, it's so-so, so you probably don't want him as a cam taking those pop shots. His dribbling's really good for a cam, but if you're playing that kind of dribbling in a centre midfield role, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's wasted. I prefer to have my cam with better dribbling. His dribbling is fantastic though, and his pace is fine for a centre midfielder. You're not going to complain with 76 pace. So for a fairly average stats card, selling for about 85,000 coins, personally I feel like it's probably not overpriced, but I don't see huge potential for growth. That coupled with the fact, sorry, I lost my words there. That coupled with the fact that his league isn't a massively used one. His nationality is great, but who is he going to link up with? You've got much better options in Argentina for your cam positions, and especially for your strike force. I feel like investing in him is a bit of a risk personally. I feel like he's roughly where he deserves to be. Okay, so now we get to De Bruyne. We get to one of the big money players in this. Now he's currently selling on the market for about 650,000 coins, which isn't a bad bargain at all. Sorry, 630 is his cheapest on the market. There's only, well, 7 cards of his up as well, so there's barely any of him on the market. We do have a previous card of him to compare it to as well, but the problem with it is it was Team of the Week 1, so the price was always going to be inflated. So this card was selling for about 570,000 to about 550,000 on and off before he had his, well, he didn't have a big game, he made it by surprise, but we'll call it about 550,000. Now this card is only going for, well, it's going for about 100,000, 80,000 coins more. It's a massive upgrade. Yes, there's going to be more on the market, but that doesn't seem like enough to me personally. I could see this card rising quite dramatically. The other bonus we have is, as it stands, I cannot see De Bruyne making Team of the Season. This could potentially be the best card he receives in FIFA, which can only drive his price up over time. He's Belgium, so he links to big players like Mertens, who's had numerous informs, Lukaku, who's had numerous informs. He's got Nangolan as another link, so great links all around. He's Premier League, the most used league in the game, which is another huge bonus for him. And at a price of only 80,000 more than his last inform was selling for, I can see this guy having some value and rising over time. How much? Well, that's another question. You can never predict just how much these players are going to rise, but I feel like he is fairly low at the moment. Okay, so out on the left, we have Cuadrado. Now, Cuadrado is another player that we have the luxury of comparing to a previous inform. He's from Juventus, a Calcio A player, so a big league, one that's quite highly used. Probably third after Premier League and La Liga. But more and more people are getting into it. His first inform was selling for about 150 to 160,000 coins prior to his big game, in which it plummeted down to about the 110,000 coin mark it's at now. His second inform is currently on the market for about 170 to 175,000 coins. 20,000 coins more picks you up his second inform card. He's got an awful nationality, so he's only going to really be used in Calcio A Serie A teams, but he's probably the best right midfielder there is available. You have got Salah to compete with him, but apart from that, there isn't really anyone else that people use. He's got 95 pace, which is ridiculous. His dribbling's over 90. His shooting and passing are absolutely fine as well. A lot of people like the big clubs as well, so he's from Juventus. He's one of the huge clubs. And I can definitely see this guy's price increasing over the next couple of weeks, just because the demand should go up for him. When people build these Calcio A teams with the wingers, Cuadrado could very well be their go-to man. So guys, we're just going to have a look at Lukaku, and that's going to be the last player we look at. We're not going to bother with the likes of Messi, because how many of us can really afford to invest in Messi anyway? So looking at Lukaku, if we go back and compare to his previous inform, now this is going to be a whole new kettle of fish because we got the potential player of the month coming up on Friday. But his previous inform was selling for about 470,000 on the market prior to the big game that's got him this one. This one's currently going for about 540,000 coins on the market. Now, is he worth more than this? Well, his stats are incredible. Look at his stats. Of course, he's worth more than this in essence. 87 pace, 92 shooting, and the physical to hold people off. This card is ridiculous. Premier League player, Belgium nationality. He carries everything you need. So what is the reason he's so low? Well, he could be getting a Player of the Month card on Friday, and then that would throw all of his informs into, well, disarray. There are two sides to this, though. Firstly, he gets Player of the Month, and you don't need an inform to complete it. These cards may even drop a little bit more. Second option, he gets Player of the Month, and you need one of his inform cards to complete it. All the cheaper informs will be used, which will raise the price as they go up in tiers, and hence it will end with this card's price rising as well, which is a win for us. The third possible situation is he doesn't win Player of the Month. Then everybody who sold off their Lukakus, who actually wants him but just expected his Player of the Month card to come in, will start buying this guy back. I'm not saying invest in this guy. It's definitely a risk because we can't predict what's going to happen. But if you feel like Lukaku isn't going to win Player of the Month, or if you're very quick on your phone, on your console when it's announced, then this guy could be a steal for about 550,000 coins. He is most likely, well, he's definitely going to get a Team of the Season card, but That's still about 6 weeks away. So in between that, you have a window in which you can buy this guy and sell him off for a nice little profit. So guys, if you found this video useful where we just looked at the current team of the week and we discussed the different players in it and how we can see their prices changing, if you could leave a like, drop a comment with any questions and subscribe, that'd be incredible. If you guys want me to keep up this series with future team of the weeks, then if we can aim for 50 likes, that would be absolutely amazing as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful as well. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.